Hello guys, I am V. Sai Srinivas of 10th class from MathMan. So today I will be explaining today's editorial. So let's get started. So today our editorial's title is The Power of Scrutiny. SC verdict on Delhi Assembly's Committee on Peace and Harmony. SC has struck a blow for inquisitorial powers of legislatures against social media company. So guys, the abbreviation of SC is Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court had given its verdict regarding the quarrels that were going on between the government and media. Under that verdict, it would give some powers to the legislatures against the social media companies. The Supreme Court of India's verdict last week upholding the authority of a committee of the Delhi Assembly to summon a senior official of Facebook is an extremely nuanced recognition of the extent of powers of state assemblies in matters regulated by an act of parliament. The question mark about the powers arose in the first place because Facebook, whose India Vice President Ajit Mohan was repeatedly summoned by Delhi's Assembly Committee on Peace and Harmony on the subject of Delhi riots of 2020, argued before the Supreme Court that this was a case of overreach and that Delhi's law and order came under the central government. This was also the position taken by the central government, which argued that Delhi Assembly had no jurisdiction in this matter. The social media platforms also pointed out that it was governed by the IT Act of Parliament and this is not therefore something that any state governments can be concerned with. The court, in upholding the summons, did not go merely by the legislative powers of a house. It rightly said the assembly does not only perform the function of legislating, there are many other aspects of governance which can form part of the essential functions of the legislative assembly and consequently the committee. Its point was the inquisitorial and recommendatory powers of a house can be used for better governance, but it also cautioned the committee from transgressing into any fields reserved for the union government. So guys, under the IT Act of the Parliament, some of the media can be restrained. Some officials of the platform of media can also be summoned by the legislature to question and get answers. But the state assemblies doesn't have this kind of power and it is not their concern. The Supreme Court of India gave its verdict last week. The authority of the Committee of Delhi Assembly to summon a senior official of Facebook is given. So these rules and regulations only can restrain the social media to an extent, but they don't intend to restrain it completely because it would be against the Information Act. So that's what I'm trying to say is that So guys, if I move on to the next passage, significantly, the verdict comes amid a long phase of discordance over legislative turf between the central government and the Delhi government, something that the bench led by Justice S.K. Kaul did not note amid discussions about the spirit of federalism. Not just that, it also comes at a time when social media intermediaries are legally fighting some aspects of the new IT rules that govern them. The responsibility toward the many legislatures will only become more heightened because of this verdict. The court refused to buy the argument that social media intermediaries are a merely platform for exchange of ideas without performing any significant role themselves. It then linked what happens in these platforms to the real world. Misinformation on social media, the court said, has had a direct impact on vast areas of subject matter which ultimately affect the governance of states. Given the constraints of the power of Delhi Assembly vis-a-vis law and order, the fact that the court found its committee still could summon the Facebook India official without encroaching upon the turf of the center now opens the gates for scrutiny of social media platforms by other states, which however have significantly more powers with respect to law and order. The stage is set more scrutiny. So the Delhi government and the central government had many disputes. So now that new rules were introduced, the power of the Delhi Assembly or the committee to summon a Facebook official is now removed. So it enters into the region of the central government. So guys, federalism means it is the sharing of responsibilities and power among states and nations. So that's it guys. Thank you.